On a cool Monday night in San Diego, when the waves of Mission Bay whispered quietly against the shore, a woman stepped into the service entrance of Marina Blue Hotel. Her sneakers scuffed, her oversized scrubs wrinkled from a backpack jammed with only essentials, a charger, deodorant, and a leather-bound journal. To everyone watching, she was no one. Just another night cleaner with a name tag that read Janine Walker. But Janine wasn't her real name. And she wasn't just anyone. Amara Caldwell had grown up in boardrooms and ballrooms. She'd spent more time listening to investor calls than lullabies. Her father, Vernon Caldwell, had built Caldwell Lux Properties from a single boutique hotel into a chain of luxury establishments dotting America's most coveted skylines. Their crown jewel? Marina Blue, an architectural gem nestled on the edge of San Diego. Amara had just turned 26. Armed with a degree in hotel management from Arizona State and 2 years of shadowing senior operations in Miami and Dallas, she was expected to take her place among executives. But Amara wanted more than office views and spreadsheets. She wanted truth. Raw. Unfiltered. She wanted to know how it felt to clean the toilets of luxury suites. How staff treated those who didn't wear suits, who didn't hold titles. That's how Janine Walker was born. Her father hadn't approved immediately. "You're serious about this?" he asked that night in his penthouse office, gazing at her like she'd grown 2 heads. "Dead serious," she replied. 1 week. No name tags. No red carpets. Just reality. 2 days later, HR confirmed the alias. Shift start, 11 p.m. Monday. On her first night, Amara was invisible. Carl, the overnight maintenance man, handed her a mop and bucket without a word. The kitchen staff, mid-argument about late orders, didn't glance her way. The front desk crew, Jessica, Marcus, and Trey, chatted and laughed, their voices lowering only when anyone passed. Amara scrubbed floors, polished brass railings, wiped mirrors, all while sinking deeper into a silence that stung more than the bleach burns on her knuckles. By the third night, her notebook had pages scribbled with times, behaviors, names. She documented how Keith, the night manager, clocked out mentally at 2 a.m., but still billed for a full shift. She watched the concierge staff pocket guest chocolates. The security guard slept through his shift, feet propped up in the camera room. And then there was the front desk trio. Jessica mocked her outfit. Trey bet she wouldn't last a week. They didn't know she heard them, but she did. She wrote it all down. By Friday, Amara knew every shortcut, every broken fixture, and every person who had looked through her like glass. That night, Jessica greeted her with fake sweetness. "Hey, Janine, we left you a little surprise on the mezzanine. Thought you might like a change of scenery." Amara hesitated. Something about Jessica's grin fell off. But she needed the full picture. The mezzanine level was dim, half under renovation. As she turned the corner, a cold bucket of water crashed in her chest. It knocked her backward into the cart. Her head hit the tile. Her scrubs were drenched. And in the shadows, she heard laughter. Jessica, Trey, and a phone camera recording. She lay there, soaked and stunned, watching them howl with laughter. No epalii. No shame. Then she stood, dripping, silent, calm. She looked into Trey's phone lens. "Y'all done?" she asked. Jessica snorted. It was just a joke. Amara didn't answer. She pushed her cart down the hall, rode the elevator up, not to the lobby, but to the executive office. She opened the drawer, pulled out her real phone, and clicked on a folder labeled Marina Blue Evidence. Dozens of videos, notes, screenshots, time logs. She sent everything to HR, to her father, and then she went home early. Saturday morning, she didn't show up for her shift. Jessica rolled her eyes. Guess little Janine couldn't take a joke. Trey laughed. Keith grumbled about thin-skinned hires. But up in the executive suite, Amara sat in a tailored Navy suit beside an HR rep and a compliance officer. The video played. Jessica throwing water. Trey filming. Their words. Their laughter. The HR rep went pale. "How long has this been going on?" "Since night 1, Amara said quietly. "They stopped seeing me as a person the moment they saw the uniform." The next morning, a text went out. Mandatory staff meeting, 9 a.m., ballroom A. Jessica barely glanced at it. Probably another boring seminar. But when they entered the ballroom, chairs lined the room, projector lit, and standing at the front was Amara. Nos quedamos. No mop. Just her. Good morning, she said. Some of you knew me this past week as Janine Walker. That's not my real name. I'm Amara Caldwell, daughter of Vernon Caldwell and future head of this hotel chain. Gasps rippled. Jessica's mouth opened. Trey blinked. Amara held up a flash drive. I documented everything. Every word. Every action. The screen flickered. Video played. Laughter. Water. Mockery. Silence. You too, she pointed at Jessica and Trey, are terminated. Effective immediately. Reports are being filed. Jessica stood. You tricked us. No, Amara replied. You revealed yourselves. I just watched. As security escorted them out, Amara turned to the rest. This week, I learned that the people who represent our brand are the ones we overlook the most. That ends today. She launched new training protocols, anonymous reporting tools, rotating shifts, and a peer-reviewed bonus program. She met with every cleaner, listened, took notes. 3 weeks later, she stood in the lobby as new trainees arrived. The HR manager smiled. This is Amara Caldwell. You've probably heard her story. One trainee raised a hand. You're the one who got water dumped on you, right? Amara smiled. Yeah, that was me. She stepped forward. There's no such thing as just a janitor. Or just a cook. Titles don't define worth. Character does. The way you treat people when no one's watching. That's who you really are. Some nodded. Others clapped. Later that night, she called her dad. They're still talking about it, she said. You proud of yourself? He asked. I'm proud I didn't let it slide. He paused. You're going to be better at this than I ever was. She smiled. Because finally, she felt like she'd earned something worth more than power or position. Respect. Change. And maybe that was the whole point. Respect starts at the bottom of the ladder. And no one, not even a janitor, should be invisible.